Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new episode of Transport Fever. I have been looking at some solutions to what appears to be a big problem regarding the logistics. One problem is really what's happening over here, up to the point that I'm actually considering to remove this entire station. And no, I'm removing this entire station, build it again over here, and change my traffic to remove the holdups I have up here, because my trains keep waiting for one another due to passengers and cargo crossing each other. So that's one thing. I haven't figured out how to do all of that, but it's something I will have in mind. The second thing I've been looking at is the fact that this part basically doesn't work the way it should. And I'm not really happy about it. However, I think I found another solution. Picking up oil here, transport it to a new station I'm going to build over here. Use this refinery. Disadvantage, I will only use 50% of my train. Fortunately, I do have an oil well over here, but it's a pretty big distance. So if I plan a station here, it has to work with multiple um, multiple cargo goods, which I have: wood, oil, iron. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one because I will cut off a lot of fields. It doesn't do anything with the efficiency. I can actually continue from the oil well to the plastic factory. So that's another advantage. But the fact that my feeder line is going to be pretty long is something I'm not really fond of. The good thing, I can actually continue my line more, end up with a station somewhere over here, make a turn, end up with another station over here. So my passenger part will be coming at this part, serving the commercial and the residential, then move on to Jowett, and Jowett is going to be the end of the line. So one of the things I could do is build a terminal station and work from there. The advantage of that is I'm able to use this part for plastic production. I may use the oil well and the refinery plus this fuel refinery to supply with fuel here. So that's number two. I have discovered an option to load coal and iron at Dynam, move it here for steel, and find a possible way to transport it somewhere over here, because I got several factories over here producing machinery. This part will be a bit separate, but I could get the oil well and the refinery going to the plastic factory and use this factory by ship to transport it over here, pick it up, transport, etc. So I do have some options. I could do the same thing at this side, because we have goods factory here, but I'm lacking wood. Yeah, I got a sawmill and I got wood, so I need a long. But I still want to put ships in my system at some point. But for now, I don't think my map is actually suited for it, because most of the goods are pretty far away, or there is not a suitable connection. I mean, look at this city. It got an oil refinery, it got iron, that's it. So if I want to make a connection for whatever reason, yeah, I could transport from oil from here that way to the refinery and back to the fuel. That's the only option, using ships. Harbor here, harbor there, and see how things work out. But it's not really pleasing. So, as said, I think my first point of focus will be to create the connection between Ternate and Marham, put a cargo station in between, and from that point on start expanding into other stuff. Because I really have a serious bottleneck down here, and I need to avoid that. So the only option is sort of splitting my map and rework things. I also have oil well over here, which I can use. All the disadvantages you pay by distance, short distance. So if I set up this part here to that steel factory, it's not much. I would earn more money if I sent it there, but like I said, I have this big bottleneck. So not working well. I can head out another direction, send it here, but that would basically destroy the entire thing I had set up over here. So not an option. Leaves with what? Well, can't use that one because of the bottleneck. So I have to ship it here, but that means I need to build a bridge and or use ships, which, like I said, is causing a problem because of the distance and the fact I have to build a small road to deal with the catchment area. So not everything is going the way I hoped for. There's a steel factory here, but no coal. Yeah, more here. It's a pretty big distance to deal with the coal. Although iron, coal, tools ending up in Warkum, not a bad idea. I can ship the iron up here. We've got a similar setup except coal instead of iron over here. There's lots and lots of potential. Don't get me wrong about that. The problem is that a lot of that potential will eventually end up with lines not completely filled. And I just had a look here. Some of my vehicles are making a loss. And no, I'm not happy about that. Especially this train is having a problem. And that's because not only of the 19 minutes, more because of the fact that they have to cross that bottleneck multiple times. For now, like I said, I will build tracks, passenger station, 3. Let's see how that ends up. The thing is, I can't build it here. Yes, I can build it here, but if I want to do that, I will end up with the problem that my cargo station will be on the site where my residents live, so I can't do that. Up here is the best solution, except I will have to make a big turn, because I want my cargo to the left and my passengers to the right, just as I did over here, because that makes it a lot easier for my trains not to cross one another. I think first thing I'm going to do, going back to the widescreen, remove a part of the roads. Um, let's see if I have to do this, because that's what I wanted. That means I can remove that one. I also used the wrong. No, I didn't use the wrong one. I will change that later, because I was building a train station. Also, I haven't mentioned it, but I noticed it in the last episode. Some of the things are actually changing. High speed and catenary. The stations start to become more modern looking. First of all, the kind of, what's it called, the way the platform looks has changed. But another thing that has changed compared to previous stations, I will remove it for a while. The complete looks have been changing. Much more modern. The roof is different, the platform is different, the fences around the stairs are different, the housing changed, and I will have to move to one of my earlier stations to actually show the difference. If you look at this, then you'll see cobblestone, shingles, the old cast steel posts, cast steel fences. This is what my earlier station looked like. And this is what the modern station looks like. Bricks fixed, different kind of poles, different kind of rooftops. So, yep, there's certainly a change going on. So that part actually changes with the game here, sorry. So, I should stop zooming in and out, by the way. Passengers, I need to deliver at least 2 cargo. High-speed tracks. I also need to add my bypass. So let's start by cargo platform. That's my bypass track. My second bypass track. And I think for the time being, I got 3 cargo platforms right now. And I think I will stick to that, because I won't be picking up much actually. Maybe at some point the oil, but iron, logs, and refined oil are all going to be picked up over here. Maybe the food at some point, so that's already 4 platforms for the cargo. But it also means that the only thing I'm going to do here is delivering goods and pick up 1. Well, I've got 2 and 1 is 3 tracks for cargo. If I have to deliver 2 goods, that's already 2 platforms, picking up the third, so I'll leave it for this. I only add a big cargo building to the thing. That's it. Yeah, next part, another road. And here I am again with the tracks and the roads. I have to restore that connection. Thing is, if I build I can do. What do you mean, not possible? Oh, yeah, I know why. And the warning sign has been removed. Also, we immediately have traffic on it. It's okay. Next, cargo station. And I can't make a terminal one. Catenary, not needed. Only on the bypass tracks. The only question I'm running into right now is where to put it in such a way it's not blocking. Maybe like this. Mm, 4 platforms. Is that possible? Yeah, easily. Most beautiful thing is to get the sawmill in the catchment area of the station, which actually is pretty easy to do when I start using my brains, because you can do this. The advantage of having close to 100 million. I also need to build a truck station, which has to deal with both. Because if I connect the train station I think this works. Except it doesn't, because I have to turn it around because I want it to bypass no, wait. This is my cargo, this is my cargo. Now I'm doing things right. I will rename that one later. Does it have to be this long? Because it's only delivering most of it. My plan, because this is going to be some sort of catchment area anyway, my plan is to connect this road to the exit, this road to the entrance, more or less in a similar way as I did with one of the other stations. So for the time being, I will use the normal ones. God, I have to do this in steps. I can actually connect that in two ways now. Making it easier to go around. The only thing I need to deal with is this one, but I doubt that'll be a problem because the catchment area works. But that's not finished yet. This is a smart idea. Do it like this, or do it like that and update later. Um, Connection between the oil well and the refinery works. That works and this works. So that part is done. Next, track. We have to pick the bypass track. Now comes the fun part. Should I connect it? Yeah, I think that's the best idea. And we got the nice modern looking railroad crossings. But he ain't there yet. That's the bypass. I hope I left enough room to make all the switches. And of course the same goes for here. Better start working from the other direction. That's the bypass. At least that part is working. I also made a mistake here. I don't know if anybody noticed. Let's see. Switch number 1. Heading to platform number 3. Wasn't possible. You want to bet? It's possible. Switch number 2. Heading to platform number 2. And the last one. That's done. So passenger traffic is possible now. Better do this part too. Let's see. Starting here. That was the easy part. I think it's too short. No, I don't think. I know it's too short. I hate to be passenger in this train. Because this train is really slowing down. No catenary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the center. Just going to build 4 tracks and switches and see how things end up. I don't think I got the most beautiful solution today. As a matter of fact, I know I don't have the most beautiful solution today. Because I have to add 2 more tracks, which more or less end up on the inside and not the outside. But then, let me think. This is my cargo trail. What the? I didn't ask for that. Okay, that works. But I need to get them to this side twice. Passenger train is able to use both bypass tracks, so that works. Also able to get in and out of the station at both sides, so that works. Cargo. That's the next. And that's the problem when you have 3 tracks. Or not. Let's see. This platform driving up here, entering the track, using the switch. Yep. I was afraid of that. So let's try again. Maybe I'll do a short one. That works. That means, let me think. This platform following that track, following this track, following this track, following this track and up from here. Yep. The other train coming in and stay, no problems. This platform, same story. Two outer platforms are immediately going out, ending up here. But this is too long. So I should build another switch. Which I can't. No, I can. Again. Right, so we try it again with a shorter one. Next, now the two platforms coming in and are able to switch to the right tracks here, eventually ending up with 4. Done. So that works. That's the first part. Considering let me see, those 3 should actually end up on the bypass. And those 5 should end up on the bypass. Yeah, that's one of my problems. It's 5, so it's a little bit harder to actually set how I would end up. With even number of tracks, it's a lot easier. But if I wanted an even number of tracks, I should have, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I should have probably built my bypass tracks inside the station instead of outside the station. But it's only bypass for passenger trains, I think. We'll see. It's a pretty short distance. But I need to end up with 4 tracks anyway. This most certainly isn't going to work. This is becoming so fugly. No, that part worked. I'm going to redo that station. Because I hate the fugly. Which also means that I will have to redo the other tracks. Oh well. So I just spent 51 minutes by building something that I'm going to demolish again. One, two, yeah, three. What I'm going to do is, I need to remove another track. Set things up differently. Sawmill is already in the catchment area, so there's no need to. So I need 2, maybe 3 platforms. One for the oil, one for the iron, and could I do it for the grain? Yeah, it's doubt. I really have doubts about that, but we'll see about that later. So what I'm going to do is build a track and do my usual. I have a platform. I'm going to build the bypass track immediately next to it. Cargo track. Cargo platform. And I will end up with 3 platforms anyway. Cargo track. And my second bypass track. This gives me the opportunity to expand this station if I want to. And from this point on, I start expanding things. This is the outer bypass. That one. I was afraid of this. So we have to do it the other way. No catenary. Maybe that's a better idea. Because in the end, I still have to build 4 tracks. That's my cargo track. And this is my other cargo track. Now I have to add those 2. That's number 1. and number 2. Next is with catenary. Or maybe not. Build switch here. So from this point on, that's the first track. No way. I'll deal with that in a minute. It's still not going the way I think it should be. That's the passengers. Okay. No catenary. That's possible now. So it's able, my electric trades are able to get from this track, driving here, and from this point on, move to the right. My cargo train has to do something similar to get here. And for the sake of making sure that nothing goes wrong, I keep using catenary on this crossing. And this crossing, except it's not working. Ah, wrong spot. That works. Now making sure that my cargo trains can actually leave the platform without having problems switching. He is driving here and can use this switch to get to the right spot. Okay, so out is done, in is done as well because that's going the same. This one remains at this platform, and this one straight ahead, can take a right turn here, no problem, and from this direction it can't move over. Up to here, but it can't here. Okay. Too much curve. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Now it can. Let's check again. This works a lot better. I should have thought of that earlier. No, it wasn't available earlier. This platform actually driving against the direction, but that's no problem. Straight ahead, switching here. I need to electrify that part and able to here coming in, moving to 1, moving 2. That works. Signals. One way, no. This is actually the main track. That wasn't the main track. So that's done too. Now comes the question, do I have to set this part to 1 direction tracks? Do for this. But I don't enter account for this one yet. And I noticed a flaw in my logic. Flaw solved. Because otherwise the train will move way too early to the other tracks. And I stick to here. This is the first part. I'm going to do a double episode today. But this is the first part of how to mess up your railroad construction. Thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying it. It was fun, that's for sure. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.